Hi guys, this is Dave Bennett. It's December 31st, 2014, so happy New Year's Eve to everybody. I want to show you a nifty little contacting tool that does the right kind of job for you to contact whoever you want, people who are already in the game, who are already doing moderately well, or at least they got started, so you're not wasting time on anyone, and you're doing it only for an industry or a niche you want to target, online or off. It can be a geo-targeted thing or a not geo-targeted thing. It's all the same. All right, but you want to isolate just the right kind of people who will hear your message, turn their head, and contemplate it a bit. And you want to contact only those guys. You don't want to contact Google with your message. Like in the case of email extractions and website extractions, where you're contacting all the wrong people. Because if anyone knows anything about website extractors and email extractors, so often you're contacting PR9 or PR8 websites, and that's the problem, right? That a website extractor usually doesn't know the difference, and it gives you everyone under the sun. And the problem is they're not all going to be receptive to your message just because they're in the industry. They're going to be receptive based on their budget. They're going to be receptive based on the kind of tool you're offering them. So are you offering them something for beginners, like a newbie tool for, you know, and it could be for guys who are into make money online, get rich quick, and you're offering them some kind of program to join. Okay, so that's not a newbie tool per se, that's a program for newbies. All right, what you want to do is not go to forums and talk to everyone. Because you know how many guys kind of want to be in an MLM, but they want everyone to do everything for them, and they don't have any skills of their own. They've never built a website. Those aren't the people you're trying to contact, right? Because you're not going to have much success with them. Even if you've never built a website, if you have a good idea, present it to people who have some skill sets, right? Most of us take good ideas and present them to programmers, for example. Or if you have a good program to join, present it to people who sell similar stuff, right? Or have downlines in similar stuff. Okay, and you can offer this is something that complements what they do already, where you're splitting the money for bringing it to their attention and who knows, providing some kind of support for it or being able to explain it well to their own downline on a webinar, anything that justifies why you would be earning your cut. And that can be anything under the sun. It can be for anyone under the sun. So a lot of you are simply going to show a link to somebody and show a link to someone else, show a link to someone else, show a link to someone else, and that's it. Okay, as some of the people are going to join, you're going to make money. Okay, and what you want to be able to do is contact the right people. You're not trying to contact 4,000 people where maybe one or two are going to reply because so many are the wrong people. No, you want to contact just the right people, and you want to contact starting in minutes, and you want it to be as simple as if you line them up in front of your face. Literally, imagine 1,000 people standing in a line in front of you at attention. And you call the first guy up. He walks up to you, and he's the first guy you want to pitch. And you say, "Are you interested in XYZ?" And the guy says, "No." And you say, "Okay." And you kind of wave him to the side, say, "Okay, you can go." And then you call the next guy up. "Are you interested in XYZ?" And the guy goes, "Not really." And you go, "Okay, well, go ahead and go. There's the exit door." And you call the third person up. "Are you interested in XYZ?" And the guy goes, "Yes." And you go, "Okay, great. Walk in that door over there." Whatever that means. Get on the newsletter. Go check out the website. Go watch the video. Go buy the thing from you. Whatever it is that you have them do next in your funnel of actions that you have them take in order to convince them that what you have is good and get them going, right? And so what if you could just easily have that happen and it was just like rapid fire? Let me take it a step further. You call the next guy up, next, and he walks up. And you don't say anything. You just show him the words on a piece of paper. "Are you interested in XYZ?" And then you have below it a choice. If no, arrow, exit, go that way. If yes, click here, right? And that guy is either going to do it or not. And then you say to the next guy, next, he walks up, you show him the same piece of paper, right? And he either goes the one way or he goes the other. Clicks the link, right? Or he closes the email. It's really what's happening. Or he closes the messages, is what I want to say, not the email. Why? Because there's a big difference between email marketing and contact form submissions. Email marketing can get your email blocked. Contact form submissions will not. Okay, that means even if you put your real name, your real address, and your message in the contact form and hit submit, for example, okay, then you're submitting that message to them. They can't hit you for spam, even with your email address on it. Why? Because it's their mailer mailing themselves. Anyone who wants to submit a spam complaint can't just go and say, so and so emailed me, I don't like it. Okay? They have to actually show the headers in the email as proof. There's two reasons for that. One, without that, anyone could take a competitor down by just claiming that they sent them an email, right? So that doesn't work. Someone's got to prove that they know the code in the email headers, the route by which the mail was sent, and the mail router can back proof that it came from that source. Okay, that's one reason. Second, very often people, when they fake emails, they fake those headers. They might use your email address to contact a bunch of people. Ever had that situation happen where you got a bunch of bounce backs or whatever through your postal or through the quote unquote postmaster that's just saying nobody here at this address, and it comes back to you and you think, what the heck is that? I never contacted the guy. Well, those people on the other end haven't been able to call spam on you either. Because even if they do call spam on you, when the headers are checked, it's discovered that you didn't really do it. It wasn't you. It was somebody else. Okay? So the standing law, the base, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to stand here and claim that I know the law. Of course, you can always go ask a lawyer or a website guy or look this stuff up on your own. But the reality check is a contact form on a website is their own mailer mailing to themselves with the information about you and how to contact you back. That's why they have the fields for the name, the email, maybe best time to call you, etc., etc. Okay? And what you do with those forms is fill them in and submit them. And they can like it or not, they can't do anything about it. That is our line of people in front of our face. If we could get 1,000 of the right people, the guys who should be listening to us, lined up, then a bunch of people will listen. Probably a bunch won't, just because they weren't in the right mood when they heard your message. They were already busy with something else. Maybe you interrupted their day somehow. Maybe they clicked the message because they really needed another sale of their main product and you weren't that guy. Okay? Or they didn't have the money. Maybe they wanted to do your thing, but they just couldn't do your thing, right? So you just keep going. So if you assume catching the right guy, you need to catch them in that situation where they both are in the mood to listen to you and have the money to buy your thing. Okay. Now, who's going to be in the mood to listen to you and have the money to buy your thing? There. Now we're getting a little tighter into the description, aren't we? Let me break this down. Let's say we want to offer our affiliate link for our MLM product to other MLM leaders in the industry, right, who have their own downlines. John Doe over there runs an MLM program, and he's got 5,000 people in his downline. Then you got Ann Smith over here, and she sweet talks her guys, and she's good with what she does, and all of her people love her. And she's got, who knows, 10,000 people in her downline. And then you've got all these guys in between. Okay, and you'd like to line up 100 of those guys or 1,000 of those guys and pitch them your link and say, hey, I see what you sell, it's similar to what I sell, or I see what you sell and it's MLM, and I have one that you're going to want to put out. Okay, can you put out this one too? You'll make a lot more money because it's just great. And if you have any questions, get a hold of me. Just sign up through here and offer it to your guys. And there might be guys that jump back and contact you and say, let's do this together. Can you do a webinar with me? Or let's do this together. I don't have time to learn the program, but I'll sign up through your link if you're walking me through the steps, right? So that's MLM. Okay, why do I open this thing up? What's another one? Let's say it's not MLM. Let's just say you're trying to get people to buy your new tool, and the new tool is something for their website. So maybe guys need to have a little pop-up, okay? Pop-up for contacting us now, like call us live or whatever, live support, right? That kind of thing. There are great little code snippets for things like that to be installed on your website. So whether you're a plumber, roofer, dentist, doctor, homeopath, or whomever, very often websites don't have that and would benefit from that thing popping right up. And if you showed somebody a simple little link with a simple little example, they'd see the point and they'd want it for themselves, right? So maybe that's what you're offering, okay? Or maybe you're offering, like in my case, I'm always offering better websites to guys with lousy websites, okay? It's just me, offer what you want. or anything else you have for anybody, right? Leads, who knows? And so let's get back to this. What is a way to contact people? You could go to forums, right? And you could just put the messages up in forums. Now, that's all good. I mean, usually that's cool. But first of all, there's no direct targeting, okay? Because everyone reading, all readers are different, right? Okay? You don't know who in there has money enough to buy your thing, who doesn't, who's been far enough into the game that they even can think about doing business online, and who can't imagine doing business online, right? All of these things are interesting because they help us understand that it's a muddled picture. So if we get some response from forums, it's good, but usually we get a lot more questions than we wanted, and usually we get a lot more confusion, and we find ourselves providing a lot more support than we intended, and we'd like to streamline that down. We just want to get to the right guys. Well, I'll tell you what that idea is. Almost always, especially if you're doing anything online for business, it's website owners. Okay, somebody who has a website. Websites are easy to create. There's WordPress websites, there's our websites, there's Drupal and Weebly, and everybody out there who's gotten any real distance has finally created a website at one time or another. That means that they figured out how to get a domain name. They've figured out how to get a hosting account. They've figured out how to set up an email address, right? So you weeded out a lot of people from the forums who don't know how to do any of that. Okay, that means you weeded out a lot of the confusion and the email support questions you'd be buried with, right? You're just going after the guys who are already a little ways in. Now that's not limiting, is it? How many website owners are there in any niche? Thousands and thousands and thousands, keyword by keyword. Go look up a keyword, 22,000 results. Go look up another keyword, 22,000 more results, 36,000 results, 74,000 results. There is no end to it. There's no reason to feel limited and like you're supposed to put all that time into all that support, okay? Just go after the right guys. Now, out of those website owners, what do we want? Guys in our industry or niche of choice, okay? We don't want to bother anybody that's not interested in our stuff, but we definitely want to offer our stuff to everyone who is interested. And since we know that they are going for keyword recognition, they're trying to show up for keywords thereafter, okay, then by going after the keywords to find the guys who are the website owners, we are finding the right results. What are examples? If you go after money-making keywords, you're going to get the money-making crowd. If you go after MLM keywords, you're going to get the MLM crowd. If you go after blogger keywords, you know, when you're offering cool blogger tools, then you're going to get the blogger crowd. Now, that's on the industry side. We want to juxtapose that, right? Juxtapose, right? If no one knows the term, let's learn it today. We want that juxtaposed with, and that's going to be juxtaposed with what? Okay, well, expertise level. Whether they're newbie, intermediate, say, or advanced. Why do we care? I'll tell you why we care. You don't offer tools that are good for newbies to guys who are intermediate or advanced, do you? Right? If you offer those tools to a bunch of these guys and a bunch of those guys, they're going to just send you hate mail. Say, get me off your list, dang it, and all that kind of thing. And there is no list if you use our contact form. Of course, it's nice to clean those contacts. That's what we do so that we don't bother people. You know, contact somebody once. If they don't like it, let them go, right? So we just contact guys with contact forms. You could contact by email. I'll show you how to capture emails. For those of you who are into that, you can do that. But again, you don't offer newbie tools to guys who are intermediate or advanced, really. You know, you just make them lose all interest in you really, really fast. But on the other hand, you might want to offer an advanced tool to a newbie, or you might want to offer an intermediate tool to a newbie. But usually, what's the problem? If it's a good tool, a truly good tool, not a joke, not a game, not a little PDF file with a good point or two in it, not a simple tool that does some simple little thing that's kind of nice, but if it's a real serious tool, right, developer level, mini variables. You can use it 10 different ways. Then it's going to be expensive. It's going to be good, robust, quality programming, but it's also going to be expensive. And if it's expensive, the newbie cannot afford it, right? Right. So what do we want to do? We want to figure out our industry niche of choice and juxtapose that. Once we decide that, I don't care if it's only dentists, then again, we're back to this. Are we trying to offer a tool to dentists that have a really bad website because they're just getting started and they haven't figured out how to get a nice quality website? Or are we only looking for dentists that have decent websites and we're offering them advanced level maybe because it's the next step up and they can afford it? Or we're offering them tools that help them get from being an intermediate guy to eventually being an advanced guy, and then offering them advanced tools later as upsells. Do you get it? So we want two things. We want to isolate the industry, and out of that industry, isolate which expertise level those people are at. And so once we do it, and I can use any combination, roofer, advanced, okay, MLM, newbie, work with me, your blogger, intermediate. Once we have that figured out, we know what we're offering them. This guy, we're going to offer the really expensive thing. This guy, we're going to offer the cheap tool, but we're going to go after a lot of them. This guy's intermediate, so we're going to offer the reasonable tool that will probably be interesting to them. Okay? Now, that's cool, isn't it? I want 1,000 of these guys, right? Standing in front of me just to show the message to real quick. I want to be able to show a message to another guy every couple of seconds. I want to show a message to another one of these guys that's matched to them, a great match to them. I want to show it every couple of seconds. I want to show a message to these guys every couple of seconds. And by the way, I don't just want 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I want like 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, right? I want to keep going with it. But I'm just illustrating how we're starting here to make the point. All right. Now, I'll give you another great example of how to approach it just to make sure you're thinking clearly about this. I had somebody get a hold of me recently and say, hey, I want to find people who are interested in Bitcoin. Okay. I want to get them into my Bitcoin group. Okay. Teach them how to do all the Bitcoin stuff correctly. All right. That's great. So where would you find guys who are interested in Bitcoin? Again, you could go to a forum. And put the message out. No one's going to say don't. That's valuable for what it's worth. Okay. But again, where could you find website owners who are interested in Bitcoin so you can reach out to guys who are specifically targeted? Well, who would be interested in Bitcoin? How about guys who do similar things? What about Forex website owners? Okay. They have their own blogs. They have their groups, their downlines, their subscribers, their readership. These would be the guys. And if you can get them into your group, you might be able to bring their whole group in with them, right? That's harder to do up here because, you know, they're talking out loud next to you in your threads and so forth. And so what you find is it's really a browbeating contest between experts in the arena, all of them chiming in, right? But here, you're just making a direct, isolated offer to each particular individual, and that way they can focus on your offer more. Who else, by the way? How about gamblers? Horse gambling, etc. Okay, anybody who's doing different kinds of gambling sites, they can be interested in Bitcoin because it's similar. Okay, you're gambling on whether the value of the Bitcoin is rising or dropping, and you're treating it like you would Forex or gambling. You're thinking about it is a relatively safe bet. So again, we want to be able to go after the right folks and pitch them our message, right? Okay, having explained that, I want to show you how we do this very quickly, how we create that arrangement where we line up the guys we want. And when you see it, you'll understand how this tool works and you'll understand what we're offering.